Joining me in the studio back for 2026 is my sister. Now, I must preface this because it's my sister Mary. However, we have some news. We have some news that we will update and then have the transition at the end of our segment, I guess, for this afternoon. But a big talofa lava maloso fua manuia. Mary, welcome back to the 685 show for 2026.
Hi Lani, talofa lava, so good to be back. Good to see you too. And I'm going to sneak in a quick congratulations to you as a new fiance. That's so cool.
Thank you. Thinking about the bank account is depressing. But thank you. Look, for today, for Upu Uiga Lasi, I thought we would have a bit of a recap. Because we obviously got busy at the end of last year with Christmas on the way. And then we kind of parked things there. So for our first Upu Uiga Lasi for today, we thought we'd have a bit of a recap and then talk about the summer, talk about what you got up to, and why we're going to transition your name at the end of this segment. But first things first, recap on our Upu Uiga Lasi. Just off the bat, anything that comes to mind when we say recap?
Recap, at the top of my ao, because that was one of the words.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure ao was the respectful way to say head.
Yeah.
It's also, I always remember Ao Malipo, one of my favorite songs,
Yeah.
Night and Day.
Track. Yeah.
What else did I knew that one of the words was ao. We had
yeah.
a few different meanings for that.
Yeah.
My favorite, ai. Obviously,
Ai.
it's more than eating.
Yep.
I definitely remember the score in a game, like
Ai
ole
le
ale ai.
tālonga,
Yeah,
Ai le tālonga. That was a new one, that you... that because we had always referred to it as like score,
yeah. Or you'd ask, oi malo, and that was another word, like who was winning.
Yeah, oina maloa.
Yeah, so malo was another word,
Mm-hmm.
but I always use that as a greeting, like malo.
Yeah, malo se fua.
So, so I remember malo. We also had tofa, and that's where you just said soifua.
Mm-hmm.
So I always remember you sharing about your friend that you said like tofa soifua, but no one says tofa soifua.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you just
Like-
say fire.
Yeah, like being formal to your friend, it's
Yes.
like, are you all good?
So I always remember that.
Yeah.
With the tofa. Also tofa is that another way to say tulafale?
Yep. Jofa is a way to refer to a tulafale chief. Yep.
And then we had asu, because I remember
Yes,
learning about smoke, but I always thought it was like another utensil to scoop your food. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Just the asu and the action too, to asu. It's the noun and the verb.
Yeah.
To asu.
and then going back to the word ai, I remember you using that in a way like the car's gonna eat the gear. Remember that?
Yes.
Yes.
So Yuli explained it. When mainly for manual cars,
Yes.
or ailikia, and I still don't know how to properly explain that because I'm not a mechanic. But yes, that was on the list.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
something. I mean, yeah, I'm jumping now, but back to tofa, even the tofa mamau.
Yeah, foresight.
Yep, we had that. And sui.
Sui, yes, we did talk about sui.
I liked sui because I heard it in the local elections when I went to the inauguration for the councillors.
Yes.
So we have 4 Pacific councillors, and I believe Josephine Bartley and maybe Lotufuli,
Yep.
because they spoke Samoan with their declaration.
Yes.
So I recognize sui,
Yeah.
them as the leader, right?
Yeah, or the representative.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the representative or sui tauva. Especially for the upcoming elections. Yeah, sui tauva be the representative that's in the run. Yeah.
Yeah,
in
those
the
were
run.
the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We
Six.
had 6 keywords that I remember with our lovely Renate, who we'll see next time.
Yeah, well, we were meant to have a catch up with Renate or Leiataualesa today, but unfortunately, due to some last minute changes, she can't join us. But we send our love to Renate, and hopefully, we'll be back next week for our first word for 2026.
Yeah, I'm so excited to expand my vocabulary and
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good recap, sis. Malo,
Yes. I see what you did there.
But you know, it's good, and I think o leo ngana le tatou Porokalami Samoa, not only for us, you know, we host this segment not as experts, but just as keen young Samoans who want to explore the language a bit more and our own individual journeys, and being able to help the Sister Mary along as well is a plus, you know. So coming on from that, you were in Samoa over the summer, if I'm correct. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so I got to go back to the lovely Samoa, our motherland. The trip was already planned, so originally I was planning to go with my father. We were booked. My father passed away in November, but we were booked for December because I guess, is it fair to say December's Salfa'i season?
Yeah. It is very fair to say that.
I definitely saw a few people that I knew traveling for their own Salfa'i, and I was going with my father to his village, his father's side, Satawa and Safata, the
Let's
district
go.
Safata.
Howdy,
Next to your village.
Howdy, neighbors.
Next to you in Sarafu. But yeah, it was really cool. I was there for 12 days with my siblings, with my sisters. I even got my Samoan license. I got to drive this time.
Nice.
So yeah, we were just preparing for our Salfa'i, and ours was on. We were there for the Christmas, but my village in Satawa, we did ours on the Saturday.
Yep.
27th.
27th of
I
December.
think when we got there, we spoke with our family, and you had that meeting initially to let them know that this family is coming for this title.
Yep.
And yeah, I got to experience my first Salfa'i. It's a blessing and an honor to receive it, especially with my dad's blessing in my family. A bit emotional because I carry my dad's name now, so I got the matai title Talenga Lolo'u, Talenga for short. And yeah, I know not only am I emotionally invested, or you know, that the connection of my father and my family, but I know that it's to serve our family, to serve our village. Now I definitely know that it's different. I feel like I can't just go anywhere anymore. You know, you have to go with something. I think we know that as Samoans, but carrying the title just comes with more responsibilities and obligations and lots of colour. And some families or villages, depending on, because you know how hot it is inside. It was so hot, but you know, you either have it early in the morning. Our service was at 7. So I'm sidetracking, but this is a funny thing that I remember from my Salfa'i. They have so many dogs, and I was driving. I hit my first dog. I was like, oh my gosh. And I was driving on the way to, so I was and my cousins invited me in Apia, right? Driving to Kwa. And I was like driving through the Mountain Cross Road and through the through the Vailima way, and so you get to Siumu. I went through that way, and then honestly, it's just packs of dogs, and they don't leave. Like, that's not the point. But I had my first dog, and I was like, oh my gosh! But had to keep it together because, you know, I needed to get to our Fale Samoa, like make it to my village in time, because we had local.
Yes.
So I had local first before my Salfa'i, and I wore white, like a white fuletasi. And then all my family are there, and then you put on the colours, all the materials and stuff. So grateful for my dad's sister, my auntie Lelofi, because she, you know, I'm a bit voluptuous guy, so I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And like in the heat, but yeah, you put on the materials, different colours, you look bright. Yeah, it was such a cool experience. Also, I remember putting on my bale.
Yeah.
Shout out to Otara, because those Sega stores sell the bales.
Clutch. Tens across the board.
Yeah, but I had my bale, which was really cool, and my ula, and I mean that's just the preparing and wearing the traditional wear. Obviously, you pay for your title as well with the family's blessing. But we all were just, I think maybe there was 80 of us.
Nice.
And our Fale Samoa, but we went. Obviously, this is why this segment is so important, because, you know, I'm learning my Nganganga Samoa, my vocab is improving, but straight for Samoa, I just was in the feeling the vibes, the emotion.
Yeah, of course.
We went, and I will say that I haven't sat cross-legged for hours and ages.
Yeah.
You know, but and because in Sakawa, I imagine everyone in that Fale Samoa is my extended family.
Yeah.
So we're all one family. So we're just like sitting on the floor, on the ground. We've already said loku, and yeah, I guess the awa ceremony, or people doing. I was a bit nervous because, you know, all of it was happening. I didn't really understand the program because it's all in Samoan, you know what I mean? But just basking in the nganganga Samoa and everyone's energy and stuff, and just waiting for your name, like the Ipu. I don't, even though that's my Makai title, I had to recognize like what the name of the Ipu is, you know, like just because my Makai name is Sailengarolo, that's not the name of the Ipu when you have to kapa it, right? So I was just, and you know what's funny? I thought that everybody waits, but no, they go around giving you the other.
There's so many. When there's so many, they're just like, okay, next.
Yes. So I was like listening and waiting, and but then there was just a lot going on because I think it was like it started at 7, it definitely finished before 11. No, but I just wanted to acknowledge my parents. So
please.
Obviously you'd be like Avalea Tua, Manuele Nu'u, like Manuele Nu'u, Manuele Tatua Inga. But I remember what I said, and it was just like I also added my parents' name at the end, and then Soifua, and then I remember grabbing having my ipu, Avalea Tua, and then I tipped it. I don't know if people were actually tipping it though, and I didn't know that you don't have to drink it. I saw some people get it and then say it and then give it back.
Did you drink yours?
The whole thing. I was like, I'm a little too, I tipped a little, and then I said my thing, but I was quite emotional, and it was such an experience. Man, our culture is so beautiful, and I just want to say thank you, Lani, and thank you, Renate. Like, I know you have my Thai title too, which I will use, but I mean, I'm so grateful to be part of the segment and learn. Like, and I feel like we're never too old to connect to our mother tongue, and you know, Salfa'i season, whether it's December or throughout the year. Like, I am privileged that I had that blessing, or I could carry my father's name, and I'm still on my learning journey to speak the our language, and also understand the Samoa, the protocols, and be respectful. And now I'm just thinking of ways to give back to my village, or how I could be of service. Or I know education is really important. One thing that I at the back of my head, I'd love to have something in my father's name, like a scholarship or something for, I'll probably just manifest it by just saying that loud public, but just things like that, like education, or they don't have aircon. I don't have aircon in Sakao, but I was like, as Batai of this village, like one of my dreams would be to have aircon, because man, I definitely felt the heat going from Apia to Kwa. And then the mountains are nice, but man, it was just
Did you find that it was like a bit cooler Kwa compared to town?
I definitely felt that when you're going through the mountains, and because driving back and forth, but sometimes I felt like the heat in Kwa was just deadlier.
True.
Like because there's no civili from the coast.
The coast off the water.
We do have a river, a Waikafe, going through Lotofanga, the village over, and like bridging. I saw some people, man, on hot days when I was driving, I really wanted to pull over. I just want to swim in this water, but you had to. Only if you're from that village, I realized that you can swim. Like it looks like easy access. Because my dad's brother and my uncle took us to Siumu. They have a vai in Siumu, really beautiful and
nice and cold.
Because that's the thing about when I was in Samoa, man. It was such a cool trip, but like we stayed in resorts or Aggie Grace in town, but the pool is warm. Or if you go to beaches, they're warm. I really wanted to go to Beulah because it's nice and cold. I didn't make it this trip, but I love the vai, the local villages. They're always cold. It's way better.
It's the best.
Even when I was driving to Sula's or Alan J's, there's a takeaway shop with the nice $10 poke. It was really but I think there was a bridge in Moka'a or something. Like I just saw kids swimming and bombing and doing their manus, and that was really cool. Like island life and but that's a long-winded question, but that's what I did. And I went to carry my dad's name. I experienced my first Salfa'i.
Beautiful.
I definitely encourage other Samoans, if they get the opportunity, or if you have the opportunity to have a title bestowed on you, then to make the most of it. And I was a bit nervous at first, or I definitely had questions of, am I worthy enough, or like, because I can't speak Samoan fluently, but that's something that we will. I mean, you're fluent, Lani. You sing beautifully in Samoan as well, but yeah, just the, and then that's why I'm grateful for our vocab because I've definitely heard tofa, mamau,
Yeah. Yeah,
the
did you
sui.
while you were there? Did you like? I mean, you like you said, you would have like pick up on some of the words and maybe even like the visual uh, representations of some of the stuff that we had been talking about in the segment.
Yeah,
Like,
it was really buzzy for me because yeah, I definitely thought of you and Renate when I was sitting there, and then I remember asking about tofa and the tulafales, like things like that. So
yeah,
there were like snippets or triggering, like, oh, I remember this with Renate or
yeah,
Lari. So that was cool. I didn't fully understand the context because, yeah, we had an. I couldn't see the other being done because it was so full in our fale
yeah. Of
Samoa.
course.
So I think we're all facing this way on the ground, and then the other they were facing us on the side, if that makes sense,
Yeah,
doing the other, and then people were just going around with the ipo and
yeah.
like, yeah, it was so cool.
Quick, like, what do you call it? It's not a what is it's not well half pop quiz. So tofa, we refer to a tula fale. In your instance, we will refer to you as
And Ali'i.
which, and the word when you address an ali'i is
Loa Fionga?
yes,
Yeah.
lauwhionga.
You know, we talked about so far, was it being a small iatonga as well?
Yep.
Or, and then it reminded me of when you, like, for in preparation for a Salfa'i, you had to pay for it, like the title, but also give an ear.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that was, I was thinking of the tofa
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
And then they're like, not the, like, the sizes. So
yeah, not
that,
the small one, the
yeah.
the, the humongous ones.
It was really cool. Like, even the ballets were really beautiful for some people. I just thought it was a really colorful event,
Yeah,
really significant. But I just thought, man, the reporters from the journalists around here, these are great stories.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
are great community stories.
you know, now that you've lasso manatu, lasso finangalo, you've been through the process of being bestowed a matai title from your family, and there, obviously, with every holiday season or any kind of whenever it's matai season, no matter what time of the year in Samoa, there's always like articles or think pieces that people pop up with around like whether people are saying, oh, they're selling our matais, you can just buy a matai and that kind of thing. How did you feel during when you looked around and the whole process from the time your family le whaelua inga le tō a inga up until the time of your salfa'i? Did you have a feeling or a sense of that, like that was the case, or what was your kind of view on the whole thing? Would you agree with that sentiment that Samoa's like selling off their makais from your experience with your salfa'i?
Yeah. In my humble opinion, as I'm still learning, and I guess given the recent passing of my father, I was definitely emotionally attached to this. As in, I need to make sure that I fulfill my father's wishes and that I have my family's blessing. So it was more deeper for me to make sure that I go to Samoa and I fulfill this blessing or this opportunity.
Yeah.
Do you know what's Buzzy? I haven't seen my cousin in 20 years. And my dad had asked him, would you like to get a Matai title? And he hasn't been to Samoa in 45 years, so I got to see my cousin again, and he got to go back to Samoa in 45 years, so there were like little moments like that where it was really wholesome and beautiful for me. But in terms of your question, like, did I feel like Samoa selling off their our Matai titles, or profiting, or making it a money thing? I was more focused on the family, community, commitment, angangu'u, the connection to my culture. And okay, I get it. Like, for example, if a Matai title is $1,000 and there's 80 of us, that's already 80K. You know what I mean? And I saw one of my friends, she's from a different village, but I saw her get her salfa'i, which she shared on her socials. But it was more like in a church or a hall, and they got given a microphone, so it must have been way bigger. Do you know what I mean? So I think each to their own and how they experience it and receive it. But I also realize or acknowledge, because just because you get the title, it doesn't mean you get a title and you warm the seat, or it's you have an obligation to give back or
Get
serve
your
your
hands
family.
dirty,
So I know, like, some people be like, we were talking about a reel. Remember when you get your Matai title and then you get your certificate afterwards, and that guy was like, "I'm big homie now." You know what I mean? But it's not. Yeah, like, that was a joke. But in reality, you don't go around saying, "I'm a Matai now." Like, it's you still carry that name and you carry it with pride, and that's a declaration or commitment to your village, or publicly letting your family know that, hey, I'm here, I'm stepping up, and with that comes with responsibility. That responsibility comes with certain obligations that you need to fulfill. And I mean, no one gets their Matai title and automatically you're big. You know what I mean? Like, you're not like, oh, I'm the boss now,
I'm the
whatever.
big dog.
Like, because in our culture, I was also learning that once we're not the type to lift ourselves up. You always, even in the respectful language, we
bring ourselves down.
Yeah. So even though it's an amazing and a beautiful experience, it does you can't be like, Your Royal Highness. You know what I mean? Like, you are expected to serve the collective. And I think my father was a big part of that experience for me in December. So I didn't really see the maximizing or profiting. I just felt like it was an opportunity for me to reconnect and reclaim what, because you know how we're like New Zealand born as well, and like we still have a drop of blood in us, like Samoan blood in us. I think it must have been Mary Altangavaya, when there was probably debate about whether you can speak the language or not. Does that make you more Samoan enough? And I remember a social media reel saying that if you have like one drop of blood or whatever, you're ours. And I thought that's really welcoming and beautiful. So there's a lot of money, there's a lot of responsibility, but I personally just felt
so it's less about that, but more about just being immersed in your family.
But there may be, it might be controversial, but there may be people that have 3, 4, 5, 6 titles. You know what I mean? Like, that's when, like, oh, wait, what? Or how can you serve all different, like, because I also got asked, like, oh, this is your first Salfa'i, or would you do it again, or things like that. But I was like, well, how would I do it again? Or because each Matai title is connected to a village, and so I mean, but no, for example, we were talking about you having 2. You know what I mean? Which is nothing wrong with that, but I know that your experience with the Salfa'i, and that means you have obligations to do 2 different villages inside. So
it's that whole service thing. Like, I know, I mean, we're fortunate we have like 1 and 2. Like, I have 2, but I know people, and it's not a bad thing too. Well, this is just my personal opinion. We have so many branches and roots and different families, and I mean, if you're obliged to serve the 10 families with your 10, go for gold. Like, that's, I know someone who's got about 8 titles, or many of our uncles have like 10 titles. And
8? Are you being for real? 8 titles?
I'm being for real. I am not lying at all. But
maybe they love that Salfa'i experience because it's such a hype. You're in there, the colour. Man, I would love to capture that. Or if I was working as a journalist in Samoa, those are the stories I'd want to hear about. Or I'd want to know, like, how the village prepares for it. Where does all that material go? Where does all this money go? Just like, just wondering, like, you're only curious. Not to be disrespectful and fake a gun, but like, like, cool. How does this system work, or how does this process? And even for myself, now that I carry this title for my family, or my dad's name, which is why it's extra special for me, is how can I give back? Or sometimes people think it's financially giving back as well, but if you have a skill, or if you can I don't know, serve your community in other ways, it's not just one way. You know what I mean? You might have different skills or talents. My auntie, my dad's sister, my auntie Lilofi, gave me this really beautiful ula made out of tapa cloth, and so I just definitely felt the support and love from my family, and I really appreciate my auntie I didn't even know that she made that, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All I knew was that, okay, do you have your materials? Do you have your pale? Do you have your ulas?
Yeah.
Did you pay? Do you have the money for the title? Do you have your ikonga? Like, those were the kind of like a checklist, I guess, but making sure you have that, making sure that you are there as well, because there are, this is where Nate would come in hand, because they talk about, Tuilepa would have been the Prime Minister at the time and made some changes, because you could, before, you didn't have to be there to kapa your ipu. Yeah. So I guess that's probably links into the question you gave me about how I feel about that, but I just think it was definitely a core memory for me, a beautiful moment. Wish I could share it with my dad, so it was bittersweet. Got to see my family, celebrate and spend time with them, so it just made this Christmas a bit more special. And whether it's 80 people, I remember asking you off air, like, is it normal to have 80 to 100 people? You're like, man, that's a lot. And I just assumed that was the norm, because we were all in that in our Fale Samoa. But if it's some, I think maybe Nate said
she had about 14.
Which is really sweet and like intimate and really beautiful. But whether there's one or two, or lots of you, like, it's still the same. I definitely felt, is the right word mamalu? Like, it's definitely...
Yeah, of course. It still feels like a very reverent kind of occasion.
But I wanted to ask you, you know how you kapa your ipu? Do you, like, we're all sitting down. Some people got to stand up and say it.
Oh, true.
Yeah, well,
every village has their... Maybe, I think, from this, what's cool from this is, maybe we can... extend this into next week and break down some of the questions, because you're asking about like obviously that and different protocols. Every village has their different protocols, and where the ears go to and stuff like that, material. So I think it would be great to kind of continue this chat, especially around matais, because there has been a lot of chat about what I asked before.
There was everyone was saying their other, like when they get their ipu, they get to say a little thing. But I do remember that there was, I understood it too, I was sitting there, but there was one person that said, like, he was saying it in Samoan, but he was like, you, those with their degrees or things like that, if you come here, but you can't speak the language. It was like another controversial topic like that.
Shade.
I know, but I was like, whether or not we speak the language, we are still connected by blood as Samoans, and we have the opportunity to learn like this, the importance of the segment. So I just want to again say thank you to you and Nate for answering my questions, giving me the opportunity to practice, because sometimes I'm shy. Like, I remember random, I don't know if I could, I remember in English I had said the word instead of saying sour, I said constipated in Samoan.
Right.
Like, I got it wrong. O'onga is sour A. And I said the other word. And like, I remember this taste, and they were saying, my cousin laughed, but I was like, he was explaining the difference to me. So because of that, I was like scared to speak Samoan, because I don't want to get laughed at. But I need to get over that, because I won't learn or improve my vocab. So
Lovely.
Adding to our new vocab next week.
Adding
and
to
my questions.
I guess continued chat. We'll see how we can develop the segment, but it's great things to kind of bring up for the coming year.
And I'm excited to have I remember last year we had our followers ask questions too and join, so always keen to have the community or our listeners, their input as well, and learn new things.
Thank you for your sharing today, sis. We appreciate you. We got to cut to our news for this afternoon. But a big thank you I lo fionga tai lenga lo Mary Afemata, our newest titled presenter here on the show. Manuelo tulai mai wale tautoina o le nuu male ainga mesele atu nuu I vaenga ese